everybody, it's Ian the Off-Kilter Crafter. I hope you're having a great day today. As you see, I have my sewing machine set up and ready to go for today's project. And I luckily received a pink envelope. I know this isn't a pink envelope, but inside that pink envelope from Cotton Cuts was clue number 2 for the puzzle mystery quilt, Name of the Rose. If you are interested or don't know what's going on with this quilt, make sure to go check out my original video. I'll put it up in the iCards and down in the description below and find out all about the Cotton Cuts mystery puzzle quilt. They're a lot of fun and I'm really loving this one so far. So let's go ahead and open up this package and see what's included for clue number 2. And then we'll put it together so that way you can kind of follow along and put it together yourself as well in case you need any help. And if you're watching this before you started working on your clue, stop the video now if you don't want spoilers, because I am going to be assembling this block to completion. So make sure that if you haven't put it together and don't want to know what it looks like, don't watch this video just yet. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at what's in clue number 2. Alright, here is clue number 2. And let's take a look at what all should be in your packet. That off to the side. So we of course have all of our fabric, so I'm going to set that right there for now. Our cardboard backer, which I'm going to set over here. Great for making artist trading cards if you haven't already. And then we have our clue 2. This is of course the small quilt, and it looks like we're going to be making 4 different pieces of our puzzle today. And in our package, oh, you know what? I forgot our fabric guide. Hold on. I always forget to grab the fabric guide from last month, so always make sure to have that prepared and ready to go so that way you know which fabric is which. So, taking a look at this, we've got, let's see, we've got 8 triangles of fabric B, which is going to be the smaller triangles. So, for those, let me put that right there on the screen for you. We have 8 triangles of F, which is this blue fabric right there. We've got 4 triangles of a larger triangle B, right there. And we got 4 triangles of a larger C triangle, like that. Then we have 2 blocks of A and 4 blocks of B. Simple enough. It looks pretty easy. I think this clue is going to be relatively easy to put together, and that's what I love about these Cotton Cuts puzzle mystery quilts, is they are just so easy to put together and they really break it down nicely, so that way you can complete it in an hour or 2. But you already know that because you were putting one together, so you know all about that. Now remember, as I'm sewing my blocks together, I am using a black thread to try and match fabric A. I could have done it in just about any color because for the most part your seams and the thread that you use to stitch those seams doesn't really show. So these are the fabrics that we're going to be using today. I'm going to go ahead and set them on the table behind me so that way I'm not cluttering up my space. I'm also going to grab my ironing mat and my Cricut Easy Press Mini and get that all ready to go to start assembling, putting it all together. You know what I mean. Alright, this looks like a very simple pattern to follow this time. For section 2A, the first instruction is to join a small triangle of B to the top left of a large triangle C. So we're gonna just put it over just like this, get it all matched up, and then I'll take it over to my sewing machine and sew this up. Then once I sew that on, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna press it towards B, so we're going to press it towards the turquoise material, and then we're going to put on the other side of the triangle, again following the same way. We just fold it over, sew a seam, and then once we get that seam put on, we're going to press it towards B, or the turquoise fabric again, and it should, if I've done everything correctly, once I get it all sewn up, should make a rectangle block similar to this. Let's go ahead and sew it up. Okay, I have finished sewing the first side of B onto C, so I'm just going to quickly press it onto the B side, just like that. And now it is time to go ahead and attach the other side of B onto C. Alright, here's my other side of this, I was about to say pairing, but it's more than 2. My triple piece, I don't know. Anyways, we're basically making a flying geese form with this one. So there we go. now my next instruction is to take a rectangle of B, which I'm looking behind me to find my rectangle of B. So we have a rectangle of B, and what we're going to do is we're going to sew this rectangle of B onto the top of our flying geese block and press towards the rectangle B. Alright, let's do that. Alright, that instruction is done. Step 2 is done. So now I'm just going to press this towards the top fabric, or the B fabric, and we have a completed first piece here, and we have to do that 4 times, so you'll make 4 of these units, and then we'll move on to step 3. Alright, for our next instructions on number 3, it's time to join a small triangle of F to a large triangle of B. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. It's basically what we did in step 1 with just two different fabrics now. So let's go ahead and put this together. Again, you just fold this over. So on this side, come back, push it towards, let's see, press towards F, so press towards this fabric. Do the same thing on this side, sew it together, press towards F. Easy enough. Alright, I have pressed, or I have sewn on the F onto B, and now I'm just pressing towards F, towards the darker fabric. And now it is time to put on the other side of F, right here. Just fold that over, and once you even it up, then you'll sew along this seam right here to make another flying geese. I know what I'm talking about. Anyways, let's sew this up. Alright, I have finished putting together B and F, and now it is time to press towards F to make the flying geese, just like this. And I've brought back in the first block that we worked on. So now what we're going to do is we have the B, C, B, B, and now we're going to put the F, B, F up at the top. So we're going to do this 4 times. So we're going to take all the units that we just made, and we're going to put them across on the top here just like this, and sew it on just like that. Alright, let's do it. Alright, I have finished assembling my block. It is now time to press towards the bottom. So I'm going to flip everything around right now. It's kind of upside down for what we're looking at, but once it gets pressed, then we can flip it around. And this is what the completed block looks like. Now mine is, I'll go ahead and say it, it's a little askew. I can never seem to get my points perfect and all of that, but again, like I said in my very first video, it's not about having a perfect quilt, it's about having a finished one. So I always, even though it gives a size here that it should be 6.5 by 9.5, mine never quite measure up to that. But that's because I'm sure I don't get that 1/4 inch seam perfect on every single time. So anyways, there are 4 of these blocks now, and once I finish pressing the rest, we'll move on to section 2B. Surprisingly, I just pulled out the ruler just to triple check myself and see. This one's actually just slightly off 6.5, and then this one is, you know, fabric kind of moves around a little bit. It's pretty much on 9.5 exactly, so it is pretty close, but it's not 100%, and as you can see, it's a little skewed. No big deal. Anyways, let's move on to section 2B. Alright, for section 2B, it says to add a rectangle of fabric A to the top of the remaining units, which remember we made 4 of these. 2 of them you label as section 2A, and then the other 2 you're going to add the fabric A to the very top of it. And then it should measure 6.5 by 12.5 and label them 2B. Alright, so let's do that. So I'm just going to lay this across the top and sew this seam right here. Alright, the final instruction is to press towards A, so I'm just going to take my unit right here and just press it towards A, which is that black fabric on this quilt, which my quilt is the Team Electron quilt, by the way. So I'm just going to press it towards A fabric here, and I'll do that on the other unit as well. Alright, with today's clue finished up, you should have 2 of clue 2A and 2 of clue 2B. Try saying that like 20 times fast. Anyways, so here's what we have, and I'm gonna label these with some sticky notes and get these put into a box. I have a container that I put these in from the Container Store that really makes it helpful. It's that paper, like 12 by 12 pack paper storage unit. It makes it really convenient just to pop these in, and that way I know everything is in the same place, along with my, whoops, I almost dropped it, my fabric guide. I just throw this in the top of the box, that way I can reach out and grab it and go with it whenever it is time to start using again. So it is super exciting. I love the colors on this one. I think this is starting to become my favorite of the 2 quilts I've done so far. I really like the colors that I chose, and Team Electron is turning out to be amazing. So I hope you're enjoying your quilt, and I hope you're enjoying these videos as well. If you are, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below and click the bell notification icon, and don't forget to turn on your notifications on your mobile device so that way you get notified every time I post a new video or go live or set a premiere. Also, don't forget to hit that thumbs up, and you can also check me out on social media as well. Make sure to check out all my social media links down in the description below, and come back next month and we'll put together clue number 3 for Name of the Rose, the Spring 2020 Puzzle Mystery Quilt. I hope everybody has a great day, and remember guys, normal's just a setting on the dryer. Bye!